Have you ever wondered why it feels like your money just vanishes without you even realizing it? You've probably thought that buying a few big-ticket items would save you a ton of money, or that having a lot of stuff would somehow make your life feel more complete. But in reality, those very choices might be the reason your money slips away so quickly. In this video, I'm going to reveal 15 things I believe are a complete waste of money, things that seem like they'll help you save, but actually strip away the true value. Are you ready to recognize your financial mistakes and change the course of your life? Keep watching to find out. Buying in bulk. A common mistake in managing money is thinking that buying in bulk always saves money. Who doesn't love a bargain, right? Buy more, pay less. That's the thinking many used to follow when shopping at large supermarkets. Each time they filled their cart, it felt like they were getting a big gift from themselves. Huge packages of household goods and food with a 50-cent discount per ounce, they thought they were very smart for choosing all these items. However, after some time, many realized that this saving wasn't always the right decision. For example, people living in small apartments with limited storage space and a modest food consumption often find that food, especially vegetables, meat, or snacks, quickly spoils before it can all be used. So, instead of saving, they end up wasting money on items they can't finish. The cost of buying too much too quickly is the enormous waste that isn't realized until looking at expired food packages that can't be eaten. If you think buying big, cheap items is the best way to save, pause for a moment and think. Look at successful entrepreneurs like Warren Buffett, who is never fascinated by discounts or bargains. He always invests in what has real value, things that will serve long-term and be useful for life. Instead of overshopping, you should buy products that are truly needed, especially for perishable goods like vegetables, meat, or snacks. Supermarkets with smaller packages and guaranteed quality can be a suitable choice to avoid waste. So, don't let those bargains make you overlook the real value in life. Saving doesn't always mean buying a lot. Remember, true saving is knowing when to buy and when to stop. 2. Not knowing the best saving strategy. After realizing the mistakes in shopping habits, another equally important issue arises: saving money. In reality, not everyone knows how to save intelligently. For a long time, many lived with a misconception: just earning a lot of money is enough. But they didn't understand that it's not just income or investments that determine wealth. The savings rate is the most crucial factor. Many have wasted money that could have been saved if they had a specific and clear plan. The story of Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, shows that he always paid special attention to saving and managing finances from the early days of building the company. Bezos once shared, "I'm not the best money maker, but I'm the best money saver." This is an important lesson that many had overlooked. His story shows that just making money is not enough. Saving correctly is the key to building long-term wealth. The reality is that most people don't know how to save properly. The majority only know how to spend without thinking about the future or building a clear savings plan. Once you don't have a saving strategy, you will easily be swept away by the flow of spending and gradually waste what you have. Many have been like that, only caring about making money without paying attention to how they manage their finances. But then, they began to realize that they couldn't just live without clear financial goals. To change, many decided to participate in savings challenges, such as the 5-Day Savings Challenge recommended by many celebrities and successful entrepreneurs. This challenge not only helps create a savings habit, but is also a way to re-examine one's financial goals. For 5 days, they had to record all their expenses and find ways to cut unnecessary ones. As a result, a significant amount of money was saved in just 1 week. Now, many understand that saving is not just about cutting spending, but is a smart strategy for financial growth. Just as Elon Musk did in the early days of his startup by focused on saving costs to invest in projects that bring long-term value. If you have a clear savings plan, you will never feel deprived, and from there, you can confidently step onto the path to success. Don't let a lack of understanding about how to save cause you to miss opportunities.
Start today, join a savings challenge, and create a solid financial strategy for yourself. Because wealth doesn't just come from earning money, but also from the ability to save and manage well what you already have. 3. Spending without purpose. Many might realize they've unknowingly fallen into a trap. These stores are designed to lead customers through endless aisles, filled with appealing products and tempting promotions. Unlike a regular store, Target or Walmart has an extremely sophisticated layout, making it easy for consumers to spend uncontrollably. Many have been surprised by the amount of money they spent in just one afternoon. Drawn in by eye-catching items and clever displays, they intended to buy only a few essentials but ended up returning with a basket full of unnecessary things. There are instances of going into Costco just to buy a $5 rotisserie chicken, but after passing through other aisles, unintentionally adding all sorts of goods to the cart. As a result, instead of paying the intended $5, they ended up with a $76 bill. This is a typical example of aimless spending. It feels like wandering in a maze with no exit. Shopping impulsively might seem harmless, but it can lead to serious financial consequences if not controlled. No one wants to be a victim of the tricks that big stores use to pickpocket consumers. The solution to this problem is simple but extremely effective. Make a shopping list before entering any store. This is how many successful entrepreneurs like Warren Buffett and Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, manage their finances. They not only have specific goals in their work, but also a clear spending plan, avoiding the temptation of unnecessary items. Applying this method has yielded clear results for many. Each time they go shopping, noting down the necessary items and resolutely buying only those on the list helps control spending and use money more effectively. Success in financial management comes not only from earning money, but also from the ability to spend wisely and purposefully. Therefore, if you want to avoid unnecessary spending, start with a clear shopping list. You will be surprised at the amount of money saved each month, which will help you get closer to your financial goals. Purposeful spending not only helps you save money, but also helps you invest in truly worthwhile things.
4. Buying expensive glasses and sunglasses. One of the unnecessary expenses that quite a few people have made is buying expensive eyeglasses and sunglasses. You probably remember the first time you stepped into a designer eyewear store, where trendy glasses cost hundreds of dollars just because of the prominent logo. At that time, the common thought is that only famous brands guarantee quality, and these glasses will surely bring the luxury and style you desire. But does everything we pay for truly match its real value? Not long after, some people began to realize an interesting thing. When comparing designer glasses with more affordable ones, it's hard to see a clear difference in quality. Both are often made from similar plastic or metal materials. The main difference lies in the brand logo. In fact, expensive sunglasses often only differ in appearance and brand, while the quality doesn't change much compared to more affordable products. This raises questions about spending habits. Have you ever thought you'd be happier owning expensive items only to end up regretting it? That's what quite a few people experience, including famous entrepreneurs. Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, is a prime example. Despite being famous for his creativity, he lived a very simple lifestyle, never wasting money on luxury items, but focusing on core value and practicality. The story of him wearing only a black turtleneck and simple jeans every day is a testament to this. Jobs understood that happiness comes from truly important things, not extravagance. Therefore, some people have decided to change their spending habits. Instead of buying overpriced sunglasses, they started looking for affordable brands that still ensure quality. Glasses don't need a prominent logo to prove their worth. We don't need to spend too much to express ourselves. Affordable sunglasses from lesser-known brands can also meet usage needs, even better than the expensive ones we used to buy. This is a big lesson. Expensive items don't always provide value commensurate with the money spent. When you recognize the true value of an item, you'll understand that sometimes simplicity brings long-lasting comfort and happiness. Choose wisely, not because of what others see, but because you feel satisfied with your decision. 5.
not applying the love it or leave it strategy. One of the biggest mistakes in shopping is overlooking the love it or leave it principle, only buying items that you truly need and enjoy. Instead, quite a few people let momentary emotions dictate their purchases, buying things simply because they're interested at that moment. Then, before long, these items end up lying unused in the corner of a closet. You've probably experienced this, standing in front of an eye-catching shirt or pair of shoes, feeling the urge to buy it now, but after wearing them a few times, they're forgotten in the wardrobe. At such times, the question arises whether that item is truly useful or just a whim and a desire to own something new. And then, a realization comes that quite a few purchased items only satisfy a temporary craving, rather than serving a long-term purpose. They become excess clutter, taking up space, and wasting money. Gradually, people realize that lacking a clear shopping strategy easily leads to falling into marketing traps, where momentary gratification overrides reason. Consider seasoned investors like Warren Buffett. Despite possessing immense wealth, he is not extravagant. His secret to success lies in his wise spending habits, adhering to the love it or leave it principle, never shopping impulsively. He only invests in real value, staying away from things that only bring short-term pleasure. So, how has the shopping behavior of many changed? They start applying the rule of only buy when truly liked. Each time they consider buying an item, they ask themselves if it's truly necessary, if it will genuinely improve their life. Instead of shopping aimlessly, they select truly useful, quality items, not chasing quantity or fleeting trends. This not only saves money, but also creates a tidy living space free from unnecessary belongings. Reality shows that wealth doesn't just come from owning countless things, but from the ability to choose and invest in valuable items. Learn from successful individuals, those who understand that life isn't a shopping competition, but an investment in what truly matters. Cherish what you own and only shop when you genuinely need to.
6. Buying expensive medication. When I began to realize one of the biggest mistakes in my spending was buying expensive brand-name medications that didn't show any clear difference in quality compared to generic drugs. I remember the first time a doctor prescribed me a branded medication. Without thinking much, I went straight to the pharmacy to buy it. In reality, I didn't know that with just a little more research, I could save a significant amount of money and still get the same results. Generic drugs, though they may not have the flashy packaging or big-name recognition of branded drugs, actually offer the same quality. And that's something I had overlooked for quite a while. I understood that pharmaceutical companies don't just sell products, they sell brands and images. However, once I realized that generic drugs were just as good, I decided to change. You've probably heard about successful entrepreneurs like Warren Buffett, who's not only famous for his sharp investment acumen, but also for how he saves costs, even in the smallest decisions. He always finds ways to spend wisely and save without compromising on quality. Just like when choosing medications, if we don't know how to choose wisely, we can easily fall into the trap of unnecessary expenses. When it comes to medication, the solution I implemented was to consult with my doctor and request prescriptions for generic drugs. This not only saved me up to 85% compared to brand-name medications, but it also allowed me to maintain my health without the burden of excessive costs. Generic drugs can provide the same benefits as their branded counterparts because they contain the same active ingredients. The only differences are the name and packaging. Don't let advertising or a brand's reputation dictate your decisions. Instead, choose products that are equally effective but more affordable. Much like when you invest in yourself or your career, it's crucial to make smart choices and avoid unnecessary expenses. Remember, the small decisions, like opting for generic drugs instead of costly brand names, can make a significant difference in managing your personal finances. Wisdom doesn't come from owning expensive things, but from knowing how to use your resources most efficiently. 7. Using a VPN to get cheaper flights and hotels. One of the most effective, yet often overlooked strategies in my savings journey is using a VPN to get cheaper flight tickets and hotel bookings.
Did you know that airlines and hotels use dynamic pricing systems? This means that ticket prices and room rates change depending on the location of the buyer. It might sound unbelievable, but it's true. I distinctly remember the first time I used a VPN to find a cheaper flight. I was preparing for a trip and saw that a flight from New York to Los Angeles was priced at $600, which seemed quite steep. However, after switching my location on the VPN, pretending to be in a different country, I discovered the price dropped to $300. The difference was staggering, and I couldn't believe how something as simple as changing my location could save me such a significant amount. This technique isn't just for flights, it can also be applied when booking hotels. In recent years, major hotels have also adopted dynamic pricing. If you check prices from a country with a lower exchange rate, you may find significantly cheaper rates compared to when you search from your home country. This is one of the little tricks savvy travelers use to save money. Look at billionaires like Richard Branson, the founder of Virgin Atlantic. Branson is not only known for luxurious flights, but he is also highly adept at cost optimization in every aspect of his business. He built Virgin Airlines into one of the most respected airline brands while also managing to keep costs down. Although Branson doesn't specifically mention VPNs, the spirit of cost saving and resource optimization is just like what I've done with VPNs, an intelligent strategy to reduce expenses without compromising quality. The way I applied VPNs wasn't just a small hack, it was a long-term saving strategy. If you know how to use the right tools and seek out opportunities to save, you'll realize that everything can become more affordable. So, next time you need to book a flight or hotel, don't forget to try using a VPN to get the best price. This isn't just about being smart with spending, it's a strategic move to ensure you don't pay more than necessary. We always have to be smart with our spending, and small steps like this can save you a significant amount of money throughout your journey.
8. Not using eSIM while traveling. When I first traveled abroad, I fell into a trap that almost everyone encounters: roaming fees and the need to buy a SIM card in a foreign country. You can imagine, when I arrived in a new country, purchasing a new SIM card just to stay in touch with friends or navigate was always a hassle. Not only did it take time to find a store, but the price of those SIM cards was incredibly high. That's when I realized that if I wasn't careful, communication costs could double what I had initially budgeted for the trip. I vividly recall my trip to Japan, where I had to buy a SIM card at the airport for $50 for 7 days of use. While I had easy internet access, I couldn't stop thinking about the outrageous price I had paid. When I returned, I realized I could have avoided this cost if I had researched a smarter solution. That solution was using an eSIM, a technology now available in most countries and offered by major mobile carriers. eSIM, or electronic SIM, allows you to connect to networks right when you arrive without needing to change physical SIM cards. You simply activate the eSIM from your chosen mobile provider before your trip, and you're all set to use data immediately, without the time and effort of hunting down a physical SIM card. My story isn't unique. A perfect example is Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, who frequently embarks on long business trips. Zuckerberg doesn't just utilize advanced technologies for work, but he also looks for ways to optimize his personal costs. He's a person who never overlooks small details, such as using eSIMs to save on roaming fees while traveling abroad. Technologies like eSIM not only save you time, but also eliminate unnecessary costs when traveling. This is one of the smart strategies I've learned over my trips. I've come to realize that, rather than spending a large sum just to stay connected or use the internet, I can leverage modern technology to save money while still ensuring a stable connection. So, next time you travel, don't forget to explore eSIM options. It's not only a solution to keep you connected, but also a way to save on costs and optimize your journey. As I've learned, even small things like this can make a big difference in how you manage your finances and fully enjoy your trip. 9. Late fees. Before we begin this story, remember that sometimes small mistakes can lead to significant financial losses. One such mistake is overlooking late payment fees from credit cards.
These fees might seem small, but if ignored, they can gradually erode your finances without you even realizing it. Think about the last time you forgot to pay a credit card bill. You might not remember exactly, but at that moment, you inadvertently created an opportunity for a late fee to appear. A small fee, such as $41, might not be significant to some, but for those who are tightening their belts to maintain their finances, that amount is a considerable burden. And do you know what's interesting? Most people don't realize that you can absolutely ask the bank or credit card company to waive the late fee, especially if you're a long-standing customer. All it takes is a phone call or an email request, and they might agree to waive the fee for you. Sometimes, just by being bold enough to ask, you'll receive help, because these institutions highly value their loyal customers. This story isn't just about simple advice. Look at successful entrepreneurs like Warren Buffett, who is known for his strict financial management. Buffett always emphasizes avoiding unnecessary expenses, and he doesn't hesitate to ask financial institutions to minimize or even waive fees if possible. If such a smart investor can ask for cost reductions, then you absolutely can too. So, the next time you find yourself about to incur a late fee, don't hesitate. Call the bank and ask for a waiver. This will not only save you money, but also build a smart financial management habit, helping you get closer to your financial goals. Sometimes, just by changing a small habit, you can take control of your finances, and always remember that small costs can accumulate into a large sum, and controlling them is the key to mastering your finances and stepping towards a prosperous future.
10. Not knowing how to negotiate when purchasing big items. When preparing to purchase a big-ticket item, such as a car, high-end electronics, or even a home, the first thing I notice is that many people often overlook one important factor: negotiation. We tend to think that negotiating is simply about asking for a lower price. However, negotiation is much more than just a price reduction. In reality, it's an opportunity to gain several other benefits that you might not have even thought of. Imagine this. You're shopping for a car. The price could drop by thousands of dollars if you negotiate properly. But if you only focus on the price, you'll miss out on invaluable perks. For instance, with skillful negotiation, you could ask for a longer warranty or even free maintenance for a few years. These benefits not only help you save money, but also provide peace of mind throughout the life of the product. Pretty great, right? The solution to this problem is simple. Negotiate based on information and real data. Before making a final decision, take the time to research market prices. Don't just rely on advertisements or get caught up in the moment's excitement. Doing research beforehand will give you a stronger, more informed perspective during the negotiation process. A great example of this is Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon. From the very beginning of Amazon, he realized that negotiation could make a huge difference in business. Bezos consistently found ways to negotiate contracts with partners and suppliers not just based on price, but also by negotiating contract terms, warranties, and after-sales services. These negotiations gave Amazon a significant competitive edge and helped it grow into the e-commerce empire it is today. Remember, there's nothing wrong with asking for better terms in major transactions. Don't hesitate to research and negotiate to get the best conditions, not just in price, but in long-term benefits as well. Negotiation is a critical skill that you can learn and improve, and I firmly believe that, with a little preparation and confidence, you can come out on top in any big transaction. 11. Buying items on sale that you don't really need. You've probably found yourself in a situation where you're shopping and spot an item on sale that you just can't resist, right? You feel like you're getting a fantastic deal, buying something for half the price. But when you get home, you realize that the item wasn't really necessary, and it just takes up space in your closet. That's the power of discounts. They make us believe we're getting something great, even though in reality, it might not be that amazing. We've all seen stores use massive sales strategies to attract customers. A jacket marked down 70% or a smart TV on sale for 50% seems like an opportunity you can't miss. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, do I really need this item?
Sometimes we buy simply because of the thrill of the deal, the impulse to shop, without considering the real value of the item. The solution here is simple but incredibly effective. Never buy something just because it's on sale. Instead, take the time to think about the real value of the item in your life. Do you truly need it? Will it bring long-term value, or is it just the fleeting appeal of a cheap price? Take a look at the story of Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors in the world. Buffett has always emphasized that one of the secrets to his success is his ability to assess the true value of an investment before spending money. He never gets swayed by discounts or too-good-to-miss opportunities that have no real value. Just like when shopping, if you only buy what you truly need and what brings long-term value, you'll not only save money, but also achieve greater satisfaction in life. So, next time you see an item on sale, ask yourself, do I really need this? Don't let the sales strategy cloud your judgment. Only when you distinguish the true value of an item will you be able to make smart, sustainable decisions, not only in shopping, but in life itself.
12. Online shopping without earning cash back. When shopping online, one of the great opportunities that many people often overlook is cashback programs. You've probably bought items you love from online stores, but did you know you could get a portion of your spending back? Unfortunately, many people forget about this benefit or have never heard of cashback programs, missing out on an easy way to earn money back. Online shopping has become incredibly popular and convenient, but there's one thing many people don't notice. While we're spending money on things we need, we could also be getting some of it back. That's why you should change your shopping habits today and start taking advantage of cashback programs. So, what's the solution here? The answer is simple. Use apps or browser extensions like Routin to earn cashback when you shop online. These apps will help you get back a portion of your money from stores you purchase from. It's not a complicated strategy. In fact, it's quick and easy. All you need to do is install a cashback app, and when you shop at participating stores, your cashback will be automatically credited to your account. You've likely heard stories about successful people who optimize their spending, like Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon. Even though he's one of the wealthiest people in the world, no one can deny that Bezos succeeded not only because of smart investment decisions, but also due to his attention to detail, including optimizing everyday expenses. Using cashback tools when shopping online is an effective way to save a little extra in your daily spending. And who doesn't want to save, even just a little? Similarly, in life, always look for opportunities you might not notice at first. With just a slight change in your habits, you'll find yourself saving a significant amount of money. So next time you shop online, don't forget to check if you can earn some cash back. It's an easy way to save money without making drastic changes to your lifestyle. 13. Buying expensive souvenirs. When traveling, we often have the habit of buying souvenirs, those little gifts that carry the essence of the trip. However, many of us have faced the situation of purchasing an expensive souvenir, only to find that once we're back home, it's forgotten in a corner somewhere. These large, space-consuming items that aren't really useful only create a burden and lose the original value we hoped for. Looking back at the expensive souvenirs I've bought, I realized they didn't bring long-term value. We often think that a large souvenir will help us remember the trip forever, but in reality, these items become unnecessary burdens in our homes. A t-shirt with a logo, a large painting, or a collection of handcrafted items are rarely ever used again. They take up space, collect dust, and serve no purpose other than making our living space feel more cramped. The answer lies in choosing small, portable, and truly useful items. For example, magnets featuring images of the city or country you've just visited. These souvenirs can be placed on your fridge, constantly reminding you of the memorable trips without taking up too much space in your home. Additionally, they are not expensive and offer high utility, allowing you to feel satisfied with a small yet meaningful gift. In fact, successful business figures like Warren Buffett, who has built an enormous financial empire, always prioritize minimalism in their spending. He never engages in extravagant shopping or keeps items that are not truly necessary.
He focuses on the actual value of the things he owns, as well as investing in things that offer long-term benefits. When you learn to choose items with practical value, you realize that life doesn't require many luxuries, but only small, meaningful, and useful things. So, when buying souvenirs on your travels, be discerning. Don't get swept up in expensive, unnecessary items. A compact item that's both practical and full of memories will bring you long-lasting satisfaction without taking up space or breaking your budget.
14. Buying lottery tickets. Have you ever looked at a lottery ticket and felt your heart race, hoping that you'll be the lucky one to win a massive prize? That feeling is hard to describe, as everyone desires to change their life with a sudden financial windfall. However, do you know that the chances of winning the lottery are incredibly low, far lower than many other risks we face in our daily lives? You've likely heard numerous stories of people who won the jackpot and changed their lives, but behind each of these tales are millions of others who are left disappointed, holding nothing but a worthless ticket. If you analyze it carefully, you'll see that the odds of winning the lottery are extremely slim, almost 0.01%. It's a ratio so low that we shouldn't be betting our lives on it. Instead of spending money on lottery tickets with such an unlikely chance of winning, consider using that money to invest in more realistic opportunities. Think about investing in courses, developing your skills, or starting a small project. You can learn from successful entrepreneurs like Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon. Instead of waiting for luck to strike, Bezos chose to build an empire by offering real value to customers and always seeking long-term opportunities. He never relied on randomness, but on hard work, patience, and smart investment strategies. When you consider it carefully, you'll realize that even small, practical opportunities have a much higher potential to bring greater rewards than a lottery ticket. Investing in yourself, developing your skills, and seeking growth opportunities in your career or business will help you build a more solid future, rather than relying on luck. So, before you spend money on lottery tickets, stop and think carefully. Don't let the illusion of quick wealth draw you in. Instead, invest in things that are truly valuable and capable of changing your life in the long run in a sustainable way. 15. ATM Withdrawal Fees. Have you ever noticed the fees charged when withdrawing money from an ATM? It might seem like a small amount, but if you're not careful, it can accumulate into a significant sum over time. A single withdrawal from an out-of-network ATM could cost you up to $5. And if you withdraw regularly, that cost could add up to hundreds of dollars a year, which is no small amount. It may seem like just a small fee, but these charges can eat up a substantial portion of your budget. Imagine if you have to pay a fee every time you withdraw money, and it happens several times a month. How much does that total? It's likely more than you think. In fact, if you don't pay attention and keep withdrawing from ATMs that don't belong to your bank network, these fees will quickly accumulate and impact your finances. So, how can you minimize these fees? The solution is simple. You can opt for bank cards that don't charge ATM withdrawal fees, or choose a bank with an extensive ATM network. For example, Charles Schwab offers free ATM withdrawals and reimburses any fees charged by third-party ATMs. This will save you a significant amount of money each month without worrying about using ATMs outside of your bank's network. By choosing the right options, you can not only save on ATM withdrawal fees, but also manage your finances more effectively. Sometimes, saving on these small expenses can make a big difference in maintaining financial stability. Instead of letting ATM fees silently eat away at your finances, take proactive steps to optimize your daily spending. Remember, small habits can lead to major changes in your future. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Remember that saving isn't just about cutting back, but about managing your finances intelligently so that every penny works for you and moves you towards your bigger goals. Small changes today will make a big difference to your financial future. Thank you for being with us.